Before this story begins, I need to tell you what it is about. It is about a night when I saw something standing outside my window. Not a person. Not an animal. Something tall, still, and impossibly silent. I woke up because of a feeling, an uneasy pressure in the air, like someone watching. That happens. Humans sense things in the dark. Imagination. But when I opened my eyes, I saw it. A shape. Dark. Motionless. Standing just beyond the glass. My heart stopped for a second. No. Impossible. My apartment is on the 3rd floor. No balcony. No easy access. No reason for anything to be there. I blinked. It remained. Tall. Thin. Too tall. Its head nearly touched the top of the window frame. I told myself it was a shadow. Light trick. Night hallucination. That happens. The human mind invents shapes in darkness. But this was different. Shadows don't breathe. I could see it, slight movement in the chest area, subtle but real, like air entering and leaving lungs. My stomach tightened. I wanted to scream. I couldn't. My throat closed. I sat up slowly, hoping it would disappear. It didn't. It stayed there. Watching. Waiting. I reached for the lamp. My hand trembled. The switch clicked. Nothing. Darkness remained. No light. My pulse spiked. Power outage? That happens. Old buildings lose electricity. But the timing felt wrong, too perfect. I looked back at the window. The shape had not moved. Still standing. Still watching. For those watching on YouTube or Facebook from a computer, PC, or television, please subscribe or follow the channel or page. Thank you. I froze, staring at the shape outside the window. My rational mind screamed explanations: tree shadow, passing car light, reflection trick. That happens. The brain misinterprets patterns in darkness. But this was not a passing illusion. It remained. Still. Patient. I swallowed hard. No. It couldn't be real. I lived on the 3rd floor. No balcony. No easy way to reach the window. Nothing outside should stand there. I convinced myself it was imagination. Sleep deprivation. Night anxiety. That happens. But my heart refused to calm down. It pounded in my chest, loud and relentless. I shifted slightly, hoping movement would break the illusion. It didn't. The shape remained. Tall. Thin. Unnatural. Its head almost touched the top of the window frame, yet I couldn't see features. No face, no eyes, nothing human. Just darkness molded into a form. I tried to breathe. In. Out. In. Out. Logic. Reason. There was nothing outside. I was scared. That happens. Fear exaggerates threats. I repeated it like a mantra. It helped slightly. But then I noticed something. The glass. It should reflect the room, my bed, the lamp, faint outlines. It didn't. The reflection was wrong. Empty. The room behind me wasn't there. Only darkness. I turned my head slowly, glancing at the mirror on the wall. It reflected me. Good. Reality. But the window remained strange. No reflection. No normal image. Just the shape outside. Watching. Waiting. I backed away from the bed, heart racing. This couldn't be real. Yet it was. Something stood outside. And I didn't know what it wanted. For those watching on YouTube or Facebook from a computer, PC, or television, please subscribe or follow the channel or page. Thank you. I stayed frozen, eyes locked on the shape outside the window. My mind searched for logic, tree branch, passing shadow, reflection trick. That happens. The brain misreads patterns. But this was different. The shape remained still, tall and thin, impossibly unmoving. I swallowed hard. No. It couldn't be real. I lived on the 3rd floor. No balcony. No way for anything to stand there. I told myself it was imagination. Night hallucination. Sleep deprivation. That happens. But fear refused to leave. My hands trembled. My breath came in shallow bursts. I forced myself to move, slowly sliding off the bed. If I approached the window, maybe it would disappear. That's how illusions work. When you confront them, they fade. I took one step. Then another. The shape remained. No movement. No reaction. Just standing. Watching. My stomach twisted. I wanted to scream. I couldn't. My voice was trapped. I reached the wall, fingers brushing cold paint. I exhaled. In. Out. In. Out. Logic. There was nothing outside. Just darkness. My imagination. That happens. Fear creates monsters. But then I noticed something subtle. The air felt different near the window. Colder. Heavier. Like a draft, yet no window was open. Impossible. I stared at the glass. The shape hadn't moved. Still tall. Still silent. No features. No eyes. But I felt watched. Observed. My pulse raced. I backed away. No. This was too much. I convinced myself to ignore it. Attention gives power to fear. If I didn't look, it would disappear. I turned slightly, forcing my gaze away. But I still saw it in my peripheral vision, a dark outline, unmoving. I closed my eyes briefly. Just a second. When I opened them again, it remained. Same place. Same posture. Watching. I realized then that some things cannot be explained. Some nights change you. And some shapes outside windows are not shadows. For those watching on YouTube or Facebook from a computer, PC, or television, please subscribe or follow the channel or page. Thank you. I stood near the wall, trying to breathe. The shape outside the window remained. Still. Unmoving. My mind searched for rational answers, reflection trick, passing shadow, hallucination. That happens. The human brain creates patterns in darkness. But this was different. It didn't fade. It didn't shift. It simply existed. I swallowed hard. No. Impossible. I lived on the 3rd floor. No balcony. No way for anything to stand outside. Yet it was there. Tall. Thin. Silent. I forced myself to look away. If I ignored it, maybe it would disappear. That's how fear works, attention gives it power. I stared at the floor instead. Ordinary. Safe. No shapes. No movement. Good. Logic returning. I exhaled slowly. In. Out. In. Out. Heart still racing, but I could think. It was nothing. Night illusion. Sleep deprivation. That happens. I repeated it. It helped slightly. But then I heard something. A faint sound. Not outside. Inside. A soft creak. Like floorboards shifting. I froze. My apartment had no old wooden floors. It was modern. No creaking. Impossible. I listened. Silence. Good. Nothing. I convinced myself it was imagination. The human mind exaggerates sounds in quiet places. That happens. But the feeling returned, being watched. Not from outside this time. From inside. My stomach tightened. I scanned the room. Furniture normal. Door locked. No movement. Shadows in corners looked ordinary. Yet they felt heavier, like they could hide something. I approached the door slowly, checking the lock. Secure. Good. Safety. Boundaries. I double-checked. Still locked. Relief washed over me briefly. See? Nothing. My imagination. That happens. But I couldn't shake the unease. The shape outside the window remained in my thoughts. Tall. Thin. Silent. Watching. I didn't know what it was. I didn't want to know. For those watching on YouTube or Facebook from a computer, PC, or television, please subscribe or follow the channel or page. Thank you. I sat on the bed, trying to steady myself. The shape outside the window remained in my mind, but I refused to look. If I looked, it might feel real again. That happens. The human imagination strengthens what it sees. I breathed slowly. In. Out. In. Out. Good. Calm. Nothing was wrong. Just stress. Nighttime anxiety. But the apartment still felt different, heavier, like the air itself was watching. I glanced at the window briefly. I shouldn't have. The shape was still there. Same position. Tall. Thin. No movement. My stomach twisted. No. Impossible. It should have disappeared. Illusions don't last. I told myself it was nothing. Shadow trick. Reflection. Something logical. That helps. But my heart refused to slow down. I stood up, forcing movement. If I walked away, maybe the feeling would fade. I paced the room slowly. Step. Pause. Step. Pause. Ordinary actions. Normal rhythm. It helped slightly. The shape outside the window was no longer directly in view. Good. Out of sight. Out of mind. That works sometimes. I focused on small things, the ticking clock, the faint hum of electronics, the blanket on the bed. Normal sounds. Safe sounds. But then I noticed something on the window glass. A mark. Small. Damp. Like a fingerprint. My breath caught. I hadn't touched the glass. No one had been here. The apartment was locked. I approached slowly, heart pounding. The mark remained. Not mine. Too large. Too strange. My hand trembled as I touched the glass. Cold. Real. Evidence. Someone, or something, had been here. My mind screamed for explanations, condensation, dirt, old residue. That happens. Windows collect marks. But this felt recent. Fresh. I backed away, panic rising. No. I didn't want to believe it. But the evidence remained. The shape outside. The mark on the glass. The feeling of being watched. Something had visited. And I didn't know if it was gone. I backed away from the window, hands trembling. The mark on the glass remained. Damp. Fresh. Impossible. I hadn't touched it. No one had. My apartment was locked. Safe. Boundaries. That's what I told myself. But the evidence didn't disappear. The shape outside the window still lingered in my thoughts, tall, thin, silent. Watching. I refused to look again. If I looked, it might feel real. That happens. The mind strengthens what it acknowledges. I paced the room, trying to calm down. Step. Pause. Step. Pause. Normal movement. Good. Logic. I repeated it in my head. Nothing was wrong. No intruder. No monster. Just stress. Nighttime hallucination. But deep down I didn't believe it. The air still felt heavy, colder near the window. I shivered. No. It was imagination. Buildings change temperature. That happens. I focused on breathing. In. Out. In. Out. My heartbeat slowed slightly. Good. Control. I needed control. I sat on the bed again, staring at the floor. The mark on the glass remained in my mind. The shape outside remained in my memory. I told myself it was over. Night would pass. Morning would come. Sunlight would make things ordinary again. That helps. But a small voice inside whispered otherwise. Something had been here. Something had watched. And I didn't know if it would return. I lay down slowly, eyes on the ceiling. The room was quiet. Too quiet. No creaks, no distant sounds. Just stillness. I closed my eyes briefly, hoping sleep would come. It didn't. The feeling remained, being watched. Patient. Silent. I understood then that some nights change you. Some shapes cannot be explained. And some windows reveal things you were never meant to see. For those watching on YouTube or Facebook from a computer, PC, or television, please subscribe or follow the channel or page. Thank you.